Hey, what's up, y'all? It's AWTM, and we are back with a full recap of Sistas Season 7, Episode 13. It's entitled, Who Can I Run To? Now, if you didn't know, I did a early thoughts and predictions video on this episode that's available on all my platforms. Make sure that you support your girl. Make sure that you like, share, subscribe, follow if you can, make a comment, whatever you can do. I greatly appreciate that. So in the episode's description, it says Andy is presented with an offer to help take Gary down once and for all. And Danny and Fatima can't seem to keep Karen's big news to themselves. Now, I said this in the prediction that they were going to have a hard time keeping it to themselves. So let's go ahead and see what's actually going on. So the episode starts off and we are still at the precinct with Gary, Andy, and Jordan. Gary is really trying to frame Andy up and make it look like she was the last one that seemed Penelope, and she's so jealous and she wants him so bad that she actually did something to take this woman out. So everything kind of gets out of control. The situation has calmed down, and there's a special agent there. This special agent we seen on the episode before when they were raiding Andy's offices about Gary's financial matters. So we did see this man in the previous episode, so it's all good. But she talks Jordan into leaving. He was reluctant because he wants to find his sister, but he does end up leaving. Andy goes into a private room with this FBI agent, and he actually tells her that he's wanting to take Gary down and he needs her help. He also said that if she does help him, he in return will provide resources to help find Penelope, who is Jordan's missing sister. Now, Andy is kind of reluctant, and she said, well, what if I don't want to help? And they let her know, or he let her know, that she could be involved in some of the crimes since she did receive a property from Gary, and he has bought her other things that they can tie her up into things as well. So now she has something to think about. Now, back at Fatima and Zach's house, Fatima is having breakfast at the computer. It turns out she's been up all night looking for information on heteropaternal superfundation and how rare it is and how that it happened to Karen. Now, heteropaternal superfundation, if you don't know, this occurs when a woman ovulates two eggs into the same menstrual cycle and has sexual intercourse with two different men within a few days. Each man's sperm fertilizes one of the eggs, resulting in twins who are related through their mother, but not through their father. Now, Zach also discusses with Fatima about setting up a trust just for his baby, how he's going to take care of just his child, and Aaron can take care of the child that is his. Fatima warns him that that's not going to work like that. They're a package deal, so he really should be looking into taking care of both of them. Now, Zach ends up leaving the house, and he calls Karen, and he's in the car, and he tells her that he wants to set up a trust for his baby and that he wants to take care of his baby, and Aaron should take care of the twin that is his. Karen lets him know that she is not raising the twins separately, so she doesn't want any parts of that. They end up getting off the phone. Now, later on, Fatima arrives at work, and she walks into Andy's office. Now, Fatima is looking like she has the world on her shoulders, and she just has to get it out. Now, I know she has been holding on to this news, and she hasn't been able to tell anybody, but when she sees Andy, I know that's the first thing that's on her mind. So Fatima tries to play it out for him, and they're like, oh, that's not my business. I shouldn't get into it. You know, your friend didn't tell you. And Andy is like, what? So she tells her about the twins having two different fathers, one being Aaron and one being Zach. So Andy is like, oh my gosh, how does that happen? And she said that word again that I'm not going to keep trying to say because I know I'm going to mess it up and sound silly. But she was like, yes, it's possible. So Andy lets her know that she did see an FBI agent when she went to the precinct, and what happened. The fact that the FBI agent wants her to help with the case and be a key witness, and also they will help her find Penelope in exchange for this. Fatima warns her not to trust them. This is what they do. Don't work with them. Now, the scene cuts over to the bank, and Carrie and Maurice continue to take shots at each other. Carrie is trying her best to get under Maurice's skin so that he can blow up and get in trouble, but Maurice handles himself accordingly and reads her line by line. Now, Maurice goes into Sabrina's office. He kind of busts in. He doesn't knock or anything. And she is trying to give herself her fertility shot. And then she requests his help. He was able to give her the shot and put on a whole bunch of dramatics as well. They discuss Carrie and her starting trouble. And Sabrina assures him she will handle it. The way that he refers to Carrie as him, Mr., or just being a man in every other sentence is crazy. All right, then we get to Aaron. Now, this is him popping up at the salon. Karen is like, you don't pop up at the new salon. Like, what are you doing? But he does pop up. He tells her that he's concerned about her and he wanted to check on her and see how she's doing. But Aaron, you have a phone. She has a phone. If you wanted to check, you could have called or text or something like that. But I just believe he likes to be in the mix. He wants to be around her. He wants to see what's going on with her. So that's why he does all the pop-ups. Now, in the midst of this whole situation, Karen ends up finding out that Aaron is an investor in Pam's hair products. So she didn't know that, and she was kind of shocked and surprised about it and didn't really want him to do that because that means he's a part of her friends' lives, so he always is going to be around. But Karen, news to you, he's going to be around anyway, at least for the next 18 years. So Karen tells Aaron that, Zach kind of called her and upset her, talking about separate lives for the twins. And Aaron made it clear that he was going to talk to Zach. Now, Jordan pulls up on Gary's partner, Hudson, and there was a woman as well outside of their office. Thinking that the woman is Penelope, he touches her. Now, clearly this is not Penelope. This is a ex-intern of the company. Her name is Claire. So he asked Claire a couple of questions about Gary and about his partner or whatever, trying to get more information. And she told him, let's take a walk. So they walk off into the sunset, I guess, to talk about what's been going on at the company. Now, back at the salon, Pam questions if Karen is okay. And she says she just has a lot on her mind. They discuss her business deal with Aaron. And Karen thinks Aaron just wants to stay close to her. And she is probably right. Pam tries to get her to go home and get some rest, but she doesn't. Now, again, with this whole situation with Aaron and Karen, Aaron wants to be in Karen's life by any means necessary. He don't give a damn about those hair products that Pam is trying to sell. He was going to say yes because that gives him some kind of tie or some kind of excuse to come around again. Let me know what you think about this in the comments. I think it's very manipulative for Aaron to do so, but I think if anyone around Karen or in her vicinity or at the shop would have asked him to do something like this, he would have said okay, just so he would have the chance to be around Karen. Now, the pop-up king actually pops up on Zach while he is playing basketball. He was telling him about Karen and him wanting to set up things separately for his child. Aaron tells Zach that he will take care of both kids if he doesn't step up. Like, if you don't want to be a dad and you won't step up, I'll take care of both of them. Zach clears him out and checks him about his own kids. He's like, don't you have 2 other kids to worry about? Why are you so concerned with me? What's going on with your kids? Where are they at? Aaron informs him that the grandmother actually has custody of those kids he had with his wife that unalived herself, and that she will not let him see them. So I guess that pulled on Zach's heartstrings a little bit because he kind of felt sorry for him. And then he said they can work together about, co-parenting with the twins. Now, back at the salon, Karen's getting popped up on again, but this time it's by Trey. He pops up on her dressed in his street clothes, looking clean, smelling fresh. And he asks her, let's go out on a date. And she's like, now? And he was like, no, maybe today, tomorrow, whenever you want to, I would like to go on a date. She informs him like, hey, not with all this, like I'm like 8, 9 months pregnant almost. You think I'm gonna go on a date with you? So she turns him down and he took it in stride, it looks like. But I'm flashed back when I saw that scene. It makes me think back to him installing those cameras for Karen. And I hope that he doesn't turn into a creep where he's secretly somewhere watching. But we'll have to keep watching to see if that happens. Now, Danny calls Sabrina over because she can't keep the news to herself about the twins and she wants to play a guessing game. Because I guess if she feels like, or I guess that she feels like if she guesses what I'm trying to tell her, that won't be me actually telling her. But Danny, you're wrong because you are actually telling her. You're leading her to the conclusion that you have, which is the twins have 2 different dads. So they start to play around and play charades. Sabrina guesses what she was trying to say. So Danny failed the test, and I knew it was going to happen. Like I said on my future prediction video, I knew that Danny wouldn't keep her mouth closed, and I knew that Fatima would not keep her mouth closed. They were going to have to tell somebody because that's some juicy news. Just imagine if you knew somebody that had a twin pregnancy and there were 2 different dads and y'all all knew each other, and just think about how much willpower it would take and self-discipline it would take to keep your mouth closed. Now me, I wouldn't really have a problem, but other people, they might. I'm good at keeping secrets though. But anyway, Tony comes in and Sabrina actually quickly exits. Now, Tony comes in confronting Danny about his daughter having her handcuffs, and he is really upset, saying that, how did she get this? I expected more from you, and you were supposed to be watching them. Like, he's coming down on Danny hard. And I'm like, hold up now. You asked this woman that doesn't have any children. She's already accepted your children, but you asked her to watch them last minute. You were already at her apartment when she got home to watch them. There was no time for her to put certain stuff away or keep certain stuff away. And again, why your kids roaming all through people's house anyway? So why are you so mad at Danny? So he just went on and on until Danny was like, okay, well, get out, leave. I'm tired of it. I don't want to hear that. As she should, because I was helping you out. I did you a favor. Your child was being nosy, going through my stuff, and found something that they should not have found. She didn't even tell the young lady what it was. She said, ask your father. So she kind of stayed neutral when it comes to that. But Danny doesn't have kids. She doesn't really have the patience for kids. But she was doing this because she has feelings for Tony. So we're going to see how that plays out later. Now, back at Zach and Fatima's place, she is making him dinner. She asks about his day and what happened, and he goes into what happened with Aaron at the basketball court. He tells her about the conversation that he had with Karen about taking care of just his child, and agrees that she was right that he should be taking care of both. Now, I have mixed feelings about this. Some people might feel like, okay, they are twins, so they should be taken care of as a package deal. But this is going to get really messy because Aaron is the father of one and Zach is the father of one. And it might become very competitive between the two. Who is doing more? Who can do more? It might be a good thing for the kids, but it's probably going to stress Karen out more than she's already stressed right now. Fatima also tells Zach that she has news about his situation and his dealings with Gary, and the news is not so good. So he cannot actually pull his money away from Gary right now or try to sue to get his money back because of the way the contract was written when he actually invested in the company with Gary. So it looks like Zach is not going to get that money back anytime soon. So he was like, well, last thing I want you to do is call your cousin. No, Fatima, please don't call your cousin, trying to hint around to her calling her cousin, which is Madam, to handle Gary. And they kind of laughed it off. Then we cut to Jordan being in the car, right? And Andy calls him. Gary jumps in the back seat and he hears Andy's voice. Gary says, is that my old B? Tell her I said hello. Now, I really cannot stand this ninja. I cannot wait until he gets what's coming his way for all the pain and destruction he has caused. I don't think anyone at this point actually likes him, and everyone is starting to really see him for who he is. So that's the end of the episode. There was not a lot of action in this episode, which I figured it wouldn't be because we had the mid-season premiere last week. So they kind of packed a lot in that first mid-season episode premiere. But we did get to see some interesting things. First of all, we see how stressful it's probably going to be for Karen, Aaron, Zach, and Fatima to co-parent those twins together. We also saw a different side of Tony, where before it looked like he was just Mr. Nice Guy and just all polite and nice. But we see him trying to turn up and come for Danny a little bit, which I didn't care for. We also saw, a situation presented to Andy. Whether she's going to do it or not, we'll see in future episodes. Now, make sure that you tune in next time or just be on the lookout because I am going to do some more synopsis videos and I will have early predictions for next week's episode. This has been AWTM. I thank you so much for watching. Please like, share, subscribe, and follow.